How are you? Going for my little walk in the neighborhood on this beautiful day. So walk with me as I talk to you on this afternoon. I'm sorry I was having problems trying to, you know, because out here, as you can see in this so-called, here's some trailer parks over here, but out here and everything you can see, there's a lot of trees, and in areas like this, sometimes they have a bad connection with the internet. Well, put it this way, my data, it gets really, really bad. I got good data, but it's just that this area, sometimes I just have a little issue going on. So what are we going to talk about this afternoon? Giving God thanks again for another day He given us we never seen before. Thanking Him for His goodness, mercy, favor, and His grace upon us. Yes, each day we should give thanks. I always say that. You always got to give God the glory. Watch over you. You never know what's going to happen to your life and when it's going to end. So before we go down into our permanent place, if that should happen, at least we can say God is with us, right? God is with us. I'm just taking a walk. I want to go get me a soda. So I just like to take a little walk sometimes. As you can see, walking in the neighborhood, y'all. Beautiful weather. Let's see how long that's going to last. Hey, Frankie. How you doing? Good afternoon. What are we going to talk about? Like last night before I shut down, we was talking about old school R&B, old school soul music, and how music was so great back in the days. And music does have a big influence on people, and it does resonate in your spirit. And a lot of music today that's being made is very dark and very evil. It doesn't have a soul. It really doesn't. And the biggest mistake they did, and I'm going to keep talking about it, is putting R. Kelly in jail. He's a great songwriter, and he's a great entertainer and singer and everything. Forget all that other stuff. People need to let that go. Them women are grown now. They all did wrong, if you ask me. And we all made some mistakes along the way. Well, let's live and let's learn from it. And people got to learn how to forgive and move on. It is what it is. He suffered his consequences, if he done it. And it is what it is. People need to mind their business sometimes. Some things, woo! I just seen a dead animal, y'all. See, because there's a creek over here somewhere. It's like a little brook, whatever back here that I'm walking past. But some things just need to not be discussed in the public or giving too much public attention about. And it seems like today people are so perverted. That's all they want to do is talk about people's bedroom. What's going on in somebody's bedroom, and everybody want to show off their flesh. They flesh. People need to just keep some things, hidden from the public. I mean, really. It gets around. So, especially while we're on this internet, there's some things I just don't watch on the internet. Especially negative. People that bring a whole lot of negativity and negative energy. I try to bring positive. I try. People don't want to hear about God sometimes, but you need to. You can't live without Him. Give you hope. But it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. Here's a Dollar General over here. There's a Wawa over here. And I reached my destination. I'm going right in Dollar General and try to get me a soda. Because at this point, that's all I got in my purse. I mean, I got a credit card and a debit card and all that. But as far as cash, that's all I got. I carry on me anyway. These days, you never know. In case you might lose it, they ain't gonna get but so much. And here I am, y'all, at my destination. But anyway, like I said, before I go in the store, let me talk to y'all for a minute, because I don't like going in the store talking to, just in case I start talking to people and they think I'm filming them, but I'm not. I don't like that. I don't want nobody doing it to me, so I don't do it to nobody else, even if they don't know me, you know? But anyway, my day is going fine, Frankie. Thanks for asking. Yeah, like I said, sometimes, there's just certain things we don't need to have discussions about on the internet. Some things just need to be discussed among your personal social circle, okay, of friends. And y'all can have y'all conversations about certain things. But on the internet, I think I'm trying to pray about it and I'm trying to get away from it. Religion is one of them. Like people, religion, I truly believe that most pastors need to go back doing whatever they have to do for their ministry, and they need to discuss certain things openly to the public. They need to just do it like we who did it back in the old school days with the church doors closed in the upper room, um, because it's getting too complex. It's getting too complex because people all have different beliefs, and especially when it comes to religion, people have different experiences. And your church is supposed to basically build on the things that everybody is in the same like mind as you, and everybody is in agreement with you, so it won't be so much conflict. Um, I'm coming to that part of the Bible where it shouldn't be conflict. But I just made my open opinion last night about, I think that's a very, very touchy subject for the public to hear about people. If people want to know about what they need to do as far as making decisions and choices, if they want to abort a child, a female, a woman, because it's basically the woman who's carrying the child and it's her body. And I think that it should be up to her, her own personal feelings about things. Because, like I expressed last night, that some women could have been it could have been a rape situation, or it just maybe not, it wasn't something that was planned. Young girls are out here exploring with their bodies, and they get caught in a situation with a guy that really don't care about them and don't want the child. So that can be a problem. So that's why God said it has to be done through, God honors a marriage, and children should be born through that kind of entry into the world through their parents, to actually both of them want the child, so the child can be loved. The child can grow with love, and that love can be put out in the world, and shown to the world, and everything in the world will be loved. But we had so many children. We have a epidemic. It's a real bad epidemic out here. People are just dropping off kids here because they feel they have to have the child because somebody tell them, look, if you murder that child, God gonna punish you for it and everything else like that. And some women are just not ready, and they forced to do it by putting fear in them to do it. And that shouldn't be, and it should not be something that somebody, oh, you could give it up for adoption. It doesn't matter if a child gets to go up for an adoption, they still want to know their natural birth mother, and they might want to know who they are. So it's very complex. They grow up. You grow up in the world. Some people had a successful adoption if they was adopted through a family. Sometimes that's even complex, because I had a family member who did that adopted a child which was born. Put it this way, I learned these things through the way I had studied it through other people's life experiences, and I seen what later on in life, what has happened to their growth and what has happened to their life. And most children that came through that type of way, not saying if they, a lot of children, they turned out to be very rebellious. They come out to be rebellious. They come out to be very angry. They never seem to get over it. They seem to have a lot of they seem to have a lot of problems. Okay, because I had a cousin who was adopted in the family. She was a family child, but her mother had her when she was young. So my aunt took the child, raised the child as her own child. And when she got to know about her birth, as she got older, and they told her about her real mother, and she got to know who her real mother is, she started giving my aunt problems. She started, and my aunt nurtured her with a whole lot of love. But she grew up, and she's dead now. But she never became productive. All she did was reproduce. a whole bunch of kids into the world, and then they had all kind of different fathers, and it was a mess. So it was a mess. And I'm telling you, through some things that I have lived through, some things that I have saw, things that I have um, witnessed, and everything else like that. That's why I say that is a very personal decision for a woman to make. Personal, unless she just wants to have children and she just don't care. She just want to do it alone, and she don't mind doing it alone. That's one thing. But you can't just be out there harassing people and telling them what to do with their body. I mean, really. And they make them turn back to a hand of and have a child from somebody who doesn't want them to have the child. And that's another thing, because if the man said he doesn't want the child and he wants the child, and a lot of women grew up and they raised their kids to be angry with the fathers, to be angry with the father. He didn't want you. He ain't ever do nothing for you. So I did everything for you. And the child become rebellious. And it's not fair to the child. And it's not fair to that human being when they become older. That they have to live through those sorrows and those, and then they rebel. They get very angry. I mean, I witnessed it, y'all. I really have. I witnessed it. You know, I really have. It's not it's not right to, for me, it's just not right to harass people what to do with their body or make decisions about a child that is unplanned to come into the world, because even though you carry it, and I was just talking about this too, um, with a coworker of mine, that a lot of people, when they having children, they smoking, they drinking, they doing drugs, they doing whatever, and they carrying a child, and you also right then and there are destroying that child while it's in your body, when you got those kind of substances going on, because your body don't belong to you anymore. It belongs to that human life that you're carrying. And some women don't know how to put away a cigarette, a drink, drugs, cocaine, whatever. And these children are born with those addictions, and then you notice that they will not eat healthy. And I see a lot of kids that I have worked with have bad eating habits. They won't eat their vegetables. They only want to eat just like junk food and things of that nature, and that's not good. Now, I remember when I was raising my great nephew, one of my nephews, and I was taking care of him. What a great this little boy had a great appetite. And I said he has, and the way you eat is who you become. And he had such a great appetite. I put his food on the table. That baby would sit there and eat that food, because you know why? Because my sister, which was his grandmother, he didn't get no food out on the street all the time. He didn't get no McDonald's and Burger King and that kind of food. He always had a home cooked meal, so he knew how to eat healthy. His food was always a healthy diet. He will eat his starch, he will eat his vegetables, his meats, and proteins and everything else like that. And some people, when they don't take care of their body when they're pregnant, they don't get the prenatal care that they supposed to get while they're pregnant, and taking their vitamins and everything that need to supplement their bodies, their health, and the child. So a lot of people don't do prenatal care. They don't eat healthy. They don't eat healthy diets. I have to have a meat, a starch, and a vegetable with my diet, and proteins. And if I don't eat any meats, I have to eat something with protein in it, like beans. So a lot of people don't eat healthy like that today. A lot of people eat a lot of fast food from all different junk foods and places, and don't have a discipline to their system, don't discipline their eating habits. They just eat all kind of nasty food. And when I say nasty, I'm talking about food that you're not supposed to be eating when it's not coming from your table. Everything is good that comes from God, but some foods you just shouldn't. You should turn your plate down for. But anyway, y'all, I want to get in here and get my soda and get back to work, back in the workplace. I had to do a lot of paperwork before I came out, so I said, let me tell you something. In this kind of work that I do, the training never stops. I work with early life, so that's why these kind of topics I'm so into. You know what I'm saying? I'm so into, because as I'm telling you these things, this is also part of my work. This is my study. This is what I do. I deal with early life. I deal with the babies that come right from out of the womb all the way up until preschool. in the early beginnings of their educational experience. So they from the education from the crib all the way up until they move out into the schools. When they start going to school, I try to catch the behavior before it gets into school age like that. So I know that's right, Frankie. You don't eat out at all. I know that's right. Keep a healthy diet. Gotta eat healthy. You don't eat no pork, no beef, no nothing, but I do eat. I ain't gonna lie. I eat pork, I eat beef, I eat chicken, I eat fish, but I don't eat it every day. It's not a diet. It's not in my diet every day. Like I said, some days I go without meat altogether, and I will eat proteins like beans and stuff. I'll make a nice, you know, a bean something with beans in it and everything, and it has the protein in it. I love beans and rice. I love beans and rice. I could eat that without any meat. I can eat beans and rice without meat. Make my beans real good, season it real good and everything, and just, make it nice and saucy and just pour it over my rice and eat it. I love beans. I do. Lima beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, you name it, butter beans. Okay, I make it. The other day I had chicken and dumplings. I made chicken and dumplings, and I make that with biscuit. My chicken and dumplings, I make it with. Some people do it with biscuits. I do mine with bisquick, the bisquick, and I make it, and I, you know, put it in the soup and everything else like that. In the Oh my God, it tastes so good. The sauce and everything with the broth and all of that good stuff. And I like to eat sacotage. That's another thing I have to explain to you. But I'm just, that's who I am. But anyway, y'all, that's my diet, y'all. But we're gonna talk, and if God's willing, I may be back here with y'all later on this evening, and we can go in more deeper discussion about prenatal care, about how to take care of an early life from the beginning of the womb, and the things that a child needs to nurture, to be nurtured with, and to grow. We could go biblical with that. We could even talk about the prayer of Jabez that says, Father, may I not grieve no one. Enlarge my spiritual territory so I won't grieve anyone. So that's something we need to get into a discussion about. How does Jabez, what does that prayer really truly mean? How he entered the world, or what his mother was going through at the time during her pregnancy when she conceived him, and what kind of mother she may have been. You never know. So we'll get into that discussion, and maybe sometime this week, maybe tonight, maybe not this tonight, maybe sometime this week, because we need to really educate some of the people that don't know that it's a lot deeper than just giving birth. It's more than just giving birth. It's how you take care of the womb, when that life is in the womb, what is going on in your life at the time when that child is in the womb. you know the love you have to start pouring into the child, because they can feel you, they can hear you, they get attached to you, they build a relationship with you, with the mother, and could be with the father right from the womb. Okay, so anyway, y'all, I gotta go. Love you. Have a blessed and wonderful afternoon, and if God's willing, I'll be back with you this evening. So you all be safe. Peace.